Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Exactly. I'm gonna go for the funniest Instagram link to this ever. I'm gonna call it City v City.
It was supposed to be for the ground announcements and music, but we just couldn't figure it out. So what was this for then?
That's why
Do you know?
I don't want to accidentally trip over and then disengage it, and then it's not too work.
Well, good afternoon, wherever you are watching, in Victoria, across the nation, or around the world. Welcome to a crisp and cloudy Casey on a potentially season-defining Saturday out in the southeast. Well beyond the halfway stage and approaching the run-in. If the late-season foundations for a move in either way of the table for these two teams are to be made, now is the time to start making them. Melbourne City's recent form has been most magnificent. 4 straight wins has propelled them well and truly into the painting of the finals picture. The league's form team, they were impressive again last time out here against the other side of Dandenong. A fantastic brace from Roland Barra. It was bringing beaming blissfulness for the Sky Blues. Dandenong City, bar the prior fortnight, have hardly had any sort of serenity in the calendar year. Battling the drop amongst the midst of the relegation madness, they may be finding stride finally. They will be hoping that that is the case as the last fortnight has transpired. A point against the leaders, followed by a victory over St Albans most recently, has their short venture down the South Gippsland Highway looking more promising than perhaps it might have done. A torrid away tale, though, this season so far. It is one they must change, as their survival may very, very well depend on it. My name's Ethan Rigg. Welcome out to the southeast on what's a bit of a chilly and a bit of a gloomy Saturday afternoon for Football City, chasing 5 wins in a row. Dandenong City looking to climb for the time being out of the dreaded bottom 3. And as we approach kickoff out at Casey Fields, we will take you through the starting lineups. A heavily rotated one for the hosts: Ryan Calmes, Angus McIntosh, Aaron Cartwright, Christian Polizoudis, Isaiah Boston, Roland Balla, who's been in fine touch recently, Julian Recchia, Thomas Nasso, James Nieuwenhausen's the chosen keeper. Dominic Aravanis makes his first Melbourne City start, and he's accompanied with Jake Pilowski. Quite the set of youngsters coming out of the academy. Once again, it is providing the goods for this football club. For Dandenong City, not too many rotations on the flip side of it. Pierce Clark does come back in between the sticks. Jack Webster, Harry Ashcroft, Jamie Latham, Xander Guy, Vali Chesnick, Gaku Inaba, Danny Kim, Tim Atharinos, who was also at the double to ensure they were victorious last week, Will Bauer, and Jackson Leno, who's been having quite the run in the team. There's an opportunity today for Melbourne City to do the double over Dandenong City for the first time. Won that early encounter down at Frank Holohan. 4-2 win in the early stage of the season was one which gave them a real springboard for what's been a bit of a topsy-turvy campaign, all being said and done. A good unbeaten run of 5, then a few defeats in a row before 4 straight wins has now got them right back towards where they want to be, where they believe this group could be come this stage of the season. And on the flip side of it, Dandenong City, grand finalists last year in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Men's. Since then, it's been more of a nightmare than a dream season to follow. Only 4 points picked up on their travels. Their only away win came at Heidelberg right at the end of February. It's been a long, long time on the road for them. And Leno is under immediate pressure. Tried to bully his way beyond Cartwright. It found its way out to Latham, who rolled it on for Bauer. Boston in retreat. Bauer had a look at him, steered it low for Xander Guy to have a go. Ricochet nearly found its way through to Leno. He got a flick though, couldn't get it further. Ashcroft moved it on, Latham left it. Danny Kim had a drive and drove his effort wide early. They would have wanted a quick start on the road. They know about that wretched away record. They know it's something that must change this afternoon if they are to get on the path back to safety. Calmes had a slip momentarily. Nieuwenhausen dealt with it well enough, as Calmes once again was really hustled by Latham, who was perhaps a bit too overzealous to go and get it off him. So City conceded an early opportunity, a place where they've been quite good this season. Only 2 defeats at home in the campaign for them. on what has been so far a top flight campaign that is starting to meet expectations, and that's a tidy clip into the channel for Polizoudis, who set it back to the edge of the area. Ashcroft dived in just as Rekia was looking to make his mark. Melbourne City wanted a penalty. That shout was waved away, and that's a gorgeous ball from Chesnick. Latham's flick on found Bauer, and now Lino. Inaba, who was a touch uncertain. Clark was under pressure as a result. Inaba helped it on for Lino, who was hugging the touchline and unable to tiptoe forward. Rekia got a boot in. Latham, who was under immense pressure and could only clear his lines. There's Aravanis. His first Melbourne City start today. Yet another one of the teenagers making their way through the academy. A lot of changes to this Melbourne City team today. No Beckham Baker, no Mametti, no Matzeo, who have all been helping that upturn in form in recent weeks. No Lawrence Wong either. Plethora of whom have played in the A-League over the summer. A couple got Asian action too. As Calms steered it centrally on for Nassau, who was immediately encompassed. Danny Kim got a flick on it. Set back calmly by Ashcroft for Lino. Webster, who went spearing. That's the lot of Guy. Calms got up. Flicked on once more by Polizoudis. And Rekia went to steer it further on for Nassau, who had dropped off early. Inaba on for Jackson Lino. Steered it on for Latham, who's got room to drive and has got Bauer breaking down the line. Boston in retreat. Isaiah Boston went to hold him up. Bauer looked to twist and turn away from him. And Boston did brilliantly, not only to win it, but not to give away the corner. Latham in retreat. Boston still carrying. Clipped over the top for Cartwright. Well, he wasn't quite able to be found a little too long, and he found its way into touch. Both of these two wanting to have a look at each other. There's Clark on for Webster. His ball cut out by Polizoudis, and now Balla, who had an opportunity to drive, went to thread it into Nassau. This wasn't able to on that occasion. Dandenong City having to withstand a bit of early pressure. And Arbor set it back for Clark. Gaku in Arbor once more. Looked to steer it for Lino. Boston got up. In retreat was McIntosh. Aravanis. Latham started to creep on the press. Tidy ball out the other way for Rekia. Returned it for McIntosh. Aravanis. Boston. Patient from Melbourne City. They know today a great opportunity to not only cement themselves as one of the teams chasing finals in the Senol National Premier League Victoria Men's this season. As Aravanis speared it superbly into the channel for Cartwright. Lino in retreat. Aaron Cartwright clipped it teasingly to the back post, and it was too long for Balla, who had got round to try and get there. Bright's early signs, though, for Melbourne City. Who know a win today would push them further away of the teams in the hunt. Caroline Springs, George Cross and Preston. Both waiting on a slip-up to really close that gap. It would keep them ahead of South Melbourne in the table too. There's Calms. 10 for Neuenhausen. Clipped on for Boston. Aravanis. It's a patient start for a Melbourne City team who have found the net with frequency so far this season. Only Oakley and Avondale have found the net more often. 29 for the campaign. Headlines in Truth by Roland Balla. And Medin Mehmeti, who is not in the lineup today. Here is Guy, though, as Dandenong City look to get on the front foot. Danny Kim. Latham. Unable to steer it away from Cartwright, who can now charge. Ashcroft wanted to hold him up. Opportunity for City to keep rolling. Webster stepped in ahead of Nassau. Bauer clipped it out the other way for Lino. It's tidily done too. Kim. Ashcroft. And now Bauer, who again has got Boston to go at. On the overlap was Lino, who steered it across to the back post. Atherinos made his move too early. Chesnick will keep it alive. Jordan low for Atherinos, whose touch was too heavy. And while trying to clip it away, was out of room, it will be a goal kick. I've had to sit in at the start of this game. Have Dandenong City, their first real foray forward since the opening couple of minutes. It's Recchia. Boston went charging, he went for Cartwright instead. McIntosh. Aravanis. Calms. Recchia once more. Gave it back to Polowski. Now Boston, who whipped it out the other way for McIntosh. Aravanis. Calms this time, went to clip for Balla. Was well read by Chesnick, who steered it in well for Guy. Bauer, unable to spread it for Atherinos. Well read by Polowski, who then lost out. Now Latham, away from McIntosh. Guy kept it rolling. Bauer couldn't steer it on for Ashcroft. In retreat, Cartwright got a block. Dandenong City wanted handball, which they won't get. Boston for Aravanis, and now Calms. McIntosh swarmed upon him and Guy intertwined. And Xander Guy just a little bit too over-eager to go and win it. There's well-being of Xander Guy is just checked on. Seems to come off worse from that fall. Aravanis. Just had Cartwright peeling off momentarily. Bauer crept on him. Nassau did well. Boston set it back. Aravanis once more. Calms. Away from Guy. Latham went to close the door. McIntosh had room then and steered it superbly in the channel for Recchia. Boston. Again, Latham wanted to launch. Aravanis returned it for Boston, who just picked up a pocket of space tidily. Recchia. Now McIntosh. Melbourne City have made a positive start without too many inroads. There's Aravanis. Slowed the game almost to a complete halt. Got it back from Boston. Boston steered it down the line. Cartwright. Aravanis for McIntosh. Pilovsky. Recchia. Aravanis, who has now got Cartwright in a bit of room. Bauer's in retreat. Cartwright is charging. Bauer lunged in. Balla nearly got in behind, and in the end it will be pulled back for a free kick. Just as Aaron Cartwright went charging through. Late lunge from Will Bauer, and it presents Melbourne City with a free kick. So an opportunity in a position of particular promise. Real congregation headed towards the back post. McIntosh and Balla over it. It is Roland Balla's free kick. Nodded away by Webster. Pilovsky went to clip it. Atharinos helped it further out on its way. Now Boston. Pilovsky. Pilovsky found once more, and he's got room to drive. They all stood off him. Recchia. Out the other way. Nasso was just converging. Cartwright was making his move to the back post. Again, haven't been able to find a way forward, and Polyzoudis couldn't. Boston steered it tidily. Now Nasso, who's warding off Webster. Only for so long. Latham rolled it on for Bauer, who went early on the switch for Guy, and he got the other side of Calms, who in return got a foot and was able to flick it on for Polyzoudis. Webster in retreat. Polyzoudis kept it calm and set it off for Pilovsky. Ryan Calms. Aravanis on for Boston. Cartwright, lovely return, and Boston went charging. Bauer got a boot in. Kim, Ashcroft, Atharinos. Lost out to Pilovsky. Balla. Set it back for Jake Pilovsky. McIntosh. Pilovsky. Ashcroft, Dandenong City just holding firm at the moment. Haven't been able to get too much further forward. This, of course, the first of two 3 o'clock kickoffs on your Saturday afternoon. Avondale host Bentley Greens over at Avenger Park. The other game that kicked off in unison with ours. Pilovsky. Polyzoudis lost out to Ashcroft. Latham on for Bauer. Inaba. Ashcroft happy to return. Recchia went chasing. Danny Kim got a yard. Inaba. Pierce Clark, who clips it for Atharinos. Pilovsky got up. Polyzoudis. Latham, who was hot on the press. Calms, happy to set it back. Aravanis. Once more for Neuenhausen. Calms, who's kept deep within his own territory. Inaba was quick to challenge Recchia. Boston unable to keep it in. First bit of pressure that Dandenong City have been able to apply. Will Bauer's long throw. An Arbor's flick. On the overhead, nearly. Nearly for Ashcroft, who went acrobatically and caught it slightly sweetly and through the chaos. Neuenhausen got a good sight. As Calms went charging, Polyzoudis kept it alive. Slightly loose ball. McIntosh, now Roland Balla, who has been the flavour of the month here recently, and Balla is on the charge. Recchia on the switch for Cartwright. Boston went beyond him. Aaron Cartwright had a yards and hammered his effort over.
Well done.
That is how quick, though, Melbourne City can break. Just when that space opened up for them. Boston and Cartwright have caused problems.
Go, second ball's in here. Comes and get your line nice and low. Dom, nice and low. Jules, seconds. As anything that drops. Down, let's go, let's go.
Guy went to challenge. Boston flicked it away. Latham on for Atherinos. Webster, Chesnick. Clark had to go. And his ball for Bauer, who stayed onside. Guy then got in ahead of Aravanis. Xander Guy flicked on. It found its way to Atherinos, who was unable to tiptoe further. Cleared only as far as Ashcroft will have a go. And caught his effort cleanly, though didn't strike it on target. But it took over 20 minutes. Out at Casey, neither have been able to find a breakthrough. Melbourne City have controlled majority of the first patch of this game. Dandenong City, for the time being, have created a couple of opportunities, but they've been mainly hanging in there. Flick on from Chesnick and out of play. A really, really rocky away run, and they're wanting to end today. Right at the end of February, winning the grand final rematch over Heidelberg United. Final time Dandenong City picked up even a point on their journeys in 2026.
Yes, Jules.
As of a couple of days ago, ticked over 3 months without a win away. Polowski's flick, Bauer steered it on its way for Atherinos. Bauer was collected in the meantime. Dandenong City have a free kick. Will Bauer and Xander Guy are wanting further reprimand.
What's happening here? The ball was played fast, it's offside, didn't it still happen? So
And a yellow card as well will be issued for Dominic Aravanis. In the book, in his first Melbourne City start. Dandenong City free kick. Latham set it short for Chesnick. It's returned for Latham with Loft looking for an Arbor and Webster. It's a good claim from Neuenhausen. Who wanted to go quickly and was held up. Dropped it off for Calms. Polowski. McIntosh. Balla was given an awkward one and unable to make it work. Danny Kim wanted on for Chesnick. Atherinos. Now Latham, who has sold Clark short. And Nassau is in behind. And Pierce Clark came a long way. And Thomas Nassau was the recipient of a rather firm challenge. He had stayed down afterwards. It will just be a check onto his well-being. Pierce Clark came charging out. He was sold short on the back pass. And Dandenong City nearly, ever so nearly, were architects of their own downfall. Not only could it have been Nassau to steer into an open net, had Clark not collected any of the ball, they could have been down to 10 and without a keeper. Ashcroft. Guy. Lino. Bauer. Lovely ball. On for Xander Guy once more, who is charging it. Polizoudis. Want to set it back for Lino. Cartwright came across. Guy went to Bully. Dropped off by Polizoudis for Boston. Polizoudis swarmed. Bauer won it back. Latham. Ashcroft. Atherinos. Webster, who was charged by Nassau. And retrospectively, he will win a free kick for that wrestle with Webster. Just giving a little drag back was Thomas Nassau when trying to charge forward. Webster had to hold him up, otherwise the counter might have been on. There's Calms. Clipped it for Polizoudis. He was offside and left it. It was too long for Balla to make a late run. Dandenong City have just settled in. Saw at the opening quarter of an hour unscathed. As Clark, Lino had to make it work. Inaba left it for him. And here is Gaku Inaba. Rekia on the press. Clark went to clear. And only found Calms. Chesnick nodded it on for Atherinos, who had Polizoudis to go beyond and couldn't. Aravanis. Turn it once more for Neuenhausen. And now Calms. And again, happy to slow this game right down. Wanted to draw the press of Guy, who obliges. Returned it for Neuenhausen, who had to be quick and was. It was too long for Nassau. Webster in retreat. Still on for Ashcroft, who nodded it on for Atherinos. Both Guy and Bauer were offside. And Calms dealt with the situation well. Ryan Calms. Aravanis. Now Calms once more. McIntosh. Boston moved for him momentarily. Ryan Calms. On for Polizoudis, who clipped it on for Nassau, and Arba nodded it on for Atherinos, whose touch was a little loose. Polovsky was searching. Polizoudis picked it off. Set back for McIntosh. Calms. Aravanis. McIntosh. Away from Latham wonderfully. Rekia, who went the return. Lino lunged a leg to good effect, got it back from Webster. And searching for Guy Aravanis. Boston
Strong, good players.
helped it on its way to Cartwright. And Webster got a foot in tidily.
Jules goes two. Jules goes two from the thrones, Jules. Yes, yes,
In Arbor, Lino, who was pressed by Cartwright, who then had Ashcroft to go beyond, and him and Lino
Jules, Jules.
in tandem gave away a free kick.
From the thrones, go the normal shape. Push Jules back. Just go back.
Aravanis on for Calms. Aravanis invited to drive. McIntosh. City creeping further forward. Calms went to steer for Balla, nodded away by Chesnick. Polizoudis, now Roland Balla, who wriggled away from Chesnick, then Atharinos, set it back for Polovsky. Calms. Aravanis. Cartwright. On for Boston, who'd advanced, and he skipped beyond Danny Kim.
Good Jakey. Good Jakey.
Isaiah Boston away from Inaba, and Clark came and claimed Cooley.
Well done.
Webster. It's the most potent Melbourne City have looked, the most incisive they've looked in the first half thus far. First time Isaiah Boston's really had room to go into. Just as they're starting to turn the screw. Webster. Inaba pressed by Cartwright, whom he evaded, and it opened up space for Lino, who steered it down the line for Bauer. He's got Aravanis in retreat. Cartwright came across to close the door. Gaku Inaba, Ashcroft. Inaba. Clark, who speared it for Bauer, and too long for Will Bauer to be able to nod it on. Calms. Dandenong City, a side who haven't found the net with frequency so far this season. This another real rear guard action this afternoon. Only 3 teams have scored fewer than them this campaign, and 2 of them are below them in the table, which is never usually a good omen. As Balla tried to help it on for Recchia. Now Chesnick, who just skipped away from 3 supremely. Bauer. Valley Chesnick will have a drive. And once again, it's one that's left rather longing. Boston. Bauer in retreat. McIntosh. Guy went on the press. Boston was swarmed. Latham and Kim tried to pick his pocket. Boston breezed beyond and was given a rather blatant drag from Jamie Latham, who will find himself with a yellow card. Melbourne City just starting to turn the heat up a little bit. Dandenong City dropping deeper and deeper. As Pilovsky. Calms. Guy went to press. He was joined by Bauer. That's brilliantly done by Aravanis, who then gave it away to Ashcroft, who can release Bauer. Aravanis in retreat. Bauer went alone. And blazed his effort over the bar. Oh, that is how quickly it can all shift. Melbourne City gave it away once. Ashcroft was quick to spring the counter. And it ever so nearly proved decisive for Dandenong City. There's Neuenhausen. Boston, that's a lovely touch on for Recchia. And Boston got it in return. Latham in retreat couldn't. Lino could though at the second time. And steer it on for Ashcroft. Atherinos guided for Lino, who's got room to drive into. Steered in a teasing ball, which Calms dealt with. Recchia. And Aravanis had the final flick off him. It will be a Dandenong City corner. Ten to the break. No better time to find one. Atherinos' take. Set with depth to the back post. Guy got up. Was able to muscle himself free. And then just couldn't apply the finishing connection. Melbourne City switched off at the back stick. And Xander Guy just worked space for himself and nearly reaped the full reward. That's given away by Aravanis on for Atherinos. And again, Dandenong City can surge. McIntosh in retreat. Atherinos fisted for Guy. Oh, what a save that is. Brilliant from Neuenhausen. Xander Guy must have thought he'd scored, having been inches away moments before. This time, denied by a quite brilliant palm from James Neuenhausen. Dandenong City settle for another corner. Atherinos with depth. Guy once again. Nodded away for Ashcroft, whose touch was tidy. Set back for Atherinos. He went with return once more. This time for Guy. Didn't catch his shot cleanly. Quite a couple of minutes for him. Could have had one. Thought he'd scored the next. And then wasn't able, having worked hard for a third time, to ensure that it was in fact third time lucky. And Melbourne City survive a scare, not once, not twice, but thrice. Ryan Calms. Aravanis. Nasso gave chase, Cartwright joined him, and Arbour got under it. Lino and Nasso entangled. Now Lino's turn to be entangled with Cartwright and clear. Boston gave it away to Lino. Jackson Lino lost out. And then retrospectively got a free kick.
Face Nash, Jules behind the ball, good. Get ready, Jules. A bit higher, as you can go higher, you can go higher.
Webster. Now Danny Kim. Again, went to clip it into the channel. Neither Bowen nor Guy could get there. Polowski picked it off tidily. Aravanis. Got it back from McIntosh. Guy went on the press. Latham then lunged in. And Latham has stayed down. He might have accidentally gotten trodden on, as it's worked out for Boston. Aravanis calms out the other way for Polowski. Again, Melbourne City happy to take their time. Aravanis afforded a couple of yards. Cartwright, who again wants to look at Lino. Wants to set back for Calms. Just haven't been able to find any real incision in this first half of Melbourne City as Latham really ran himself into trouble and ran out of room. Aravanis on for Calms again. Polowski, who clipped it on for Balla, who's finally got a yard on Chesnick. Roland Balla turned his way out of trouble. Polowski. Polizoudis. Danny Kim keeping close. Recchia unable to go further. Battling was Bauer, who won a free kick. I've yet to see the incision of recent weeks Melbourne City have showcased. Dandenong City doing enough. As Clark sent it long. Chesnick and Balla battled, flicked on for Nasso. Danny Kim in retreat was tidy, Webster equally so. And Clark crashed it through. Bauer. City wants it offside, which they won't get. Now Danny Kim. Webster. Clark. Inaba. Space open for Lino. Boston flung a leg in vain. Lino wasn't able to get it under. And it invited Aravanis to go and win it. Now Boston swarmed on by two, and he did brilliantly to flick it out for Cartwright, who steered it on for Balla. He's giving chase. Clark came a long way and again got there when he had to. Oh, it was hustled by Balla, and Clark then gave him a drag. And Pierce Clark, who's been walking a bit of a tightrope in this first half, gives away a free kick. No further punishment for the keeper. There was a heart-in-mouth moment for Dandenong City, just as Roland Balla got there and poked it beyond him. Already put in one challenge on Thomas Nasso early. Melbourne City free kick. Whipped with depth towards Calms at the back post. Clark had an easy gather, though it would not have mattered. Flag was up. Polizudis got up. Bala gave chase. Him and Chesnik entangled once more. Roland Bala won it on that occasion. Pilovsky did well on a stumble and nearly slipped over. McIntosh out the other way for Boston. Cartwright. Atherinos helped Ashcroft shut the door. Lino was back. Now Boston. Cartwright. McIntosh. Aravanis. Isaiah Boston. Recchia. Calms. Pilovsky. Set back for Ryan Calms once more. Aravanis speared it long. Polizudis gave chase. Danny Kim just maybe had to be a little bit more cautious. And he appealed for a free kick, waved away quickly. As again Clark long. Sander Guy battled with Calms, who got up. Webster. And as Bala went to go with him, and Roland Bala's boot was raised. So a late Dandenong City free kick. About to tick into stoppage time. Latham over it. Speared it on for Chesnik as we go into one additional minute. Valley Chesnik kept it alive. Couldn't get away from Pilovsky, who did fantastically to hold him up. What's been a fairly free-flowing first half. Neither team have made inroads, really. You can feel the caginess. Melbourne City chasing 5 straight wins, knowing it will get them firmly in the finals picture. Dandenong City chasing points that would take them out of the bottom 3. As Chesnik flicked it into Danny Kim rather than onto for him. Is there a late look? Nodded away by Chesnik. McIntosh lost out to Guy. Will City spring the break just before the break? That's a beauty of a ball for Atherinos. Lino was on the overlap. Atherinos forced back instead for Inaba. And so a cagey, a close first 45 comes to its conclusion. Melbourne City had a lot of the ball. They played a lot of the football. And though having possession, lacked incision. Dandenong City won't mind digging their heels in. Half-time at Casey. It's Melbourne City 0. Dandenong City 0. So 45 to find a winner on a Saturday afternoon that is most important for both of these two teams. Dandenong City, no. 3 points takes them out of the dreaded drop zone. Allows them to usurp Altona in the table. A point will do that too on goal difference, though they will want something more sturdy. They are to pick up 3 points. It closes the door on Bentley Greens as well, who are currently trailing at Avondale. They'd only be a point from them, 2 from St Albans and Preston, and only 3 from Caroline Springs. So there could be a bit of motion towards the foot of the division for Melbourne City. 3 points would not take them above Avondale, but it would drag them closer to Hume and would steer them further away from South Melbourne. Keep them cemented right in the finals picture.
Ollie, when you're done.
First half of tension, of closeness, of caginess. Neither side really wanting to throw too much at it. City went to control it, unable to break through, and they've made a half-time change. Thomas Nasso has his afternoon come to an end, and Oliver O'Carroll will be entrusted with the second 45. Coming on from the bench for Nick Tolios and co, no changes to report. From the break.
Oh, Tommy. Good. See you inside.
45 minutes, 3/4 of an hour for both of these two that may come to define how they look on 2026. City a half from a first point on the road since February. Melbourne City 45 from the potential of 5 unbeaten, 5 straight wins, and a firmly cemented finals chasing spot. And it's flicked out for Roland Balla immediately. He wants to get at Valley Chesnick, set it back for Boston, who immediately had Latham looking at him. Calms. Dandenong City wanting to step in this second half. Isaiah Boston. Nieuwenhausen came through to clear. Aravanis did enough. Boston on to Pulizoudis. On the switch was Pilowski. And now Balla. Slid down the line for O'Carroll. And Chesnick in retreat did well. Steered out was Polizoudis. Aravanis. Lovely return for Polizoudis. Now out wide for Cartwright. He wants to charge at Lino. Set it back for Boston, who had a stumble momentarily. Aravanis just got a yard on Guy. In the first half, Melbourne City controlled much of the ball. Just weren't able to find that final ball, the all-important one. And they have an early free kick. Webster impeded Recchia. And again, they go to look and just pick their way through. They can only be patient for so long. They have lacked a little bit of that cutting edge. That's been there in recent weeks. There's Polizoudis. Boston, well read by Bauer. Latham, no way beyond McIntosh. Polizoudis once more. Away from Ashcroft. Went to clip it on for Balla, who was not going to be able to keep it in.
Strong start, well done. Good.
Webster went searching for Guy, who was able to spin Aravanis, though Boston was there to mop up. Neuenhausen, who maybe got more under it than he wanted, and Polowski was unable to take it down. Therinos flicked it off O'Carroll. Webster. Chesnick. Therinos. Polowski did well. And McIntosh, who just speared it out the other way for Boston brilliantly. Melbourne City evade the press well. Ravanis calms. Polowski encouraged the drive. Atherinos had a slip, got away from Danny Kim, and then got it back from Rekia. Polowski on the charge, unable to slide it through for Polizoudis. Latham left it for Webster, who had one then two challenges and won a free kick. Ashcroft open to charge. Rekia in vain. That's a tidy ball out for Atherinos. He flicked it centrally, low to the near post. Guy unable to get there. Calms cleared. So a Will Bow long throw.
Jules edge.
Flung on for Guy. Him and Calms collided. Shot for a penalty, waved away. Cleared only as far as Lino. Happy to reset through Clark. Clipped it for Ashcroft, and his flick on found Atherinos, and the flag was raised.
Dom, quicker. You can be.
Ball in the net, though it won't count.
Quicker. You can strike that line, get it up quicker. Leave the ball in.
Ashcroft coming back. Atherinos might also have gone a fraction too early. Dandenong City, though, knowing where they can get at Melbourne City. Guy was bullish in the first half. Without too much reward. Created a couple of chances for Bauer, for Latham. Atherinos had played off him nicely. Crucial that they look to try and find Jamie Latham and get him involved more in this second half. Nobody scored more in the league for Dandenong City this season than him. As Boston on for Cartwright, who was forced back by Lino. Aravanis now calms. Polowski. O'Carroll allowed to turn. Rekia. Two converging and one a free kick. Calms to take quickly. Chesnick nodded it on. Danny Kim couldn't get it under. O'Carroll. Polowski. Steered down the line for Balla. Roland Barrett rolled his way beyond Chesnick. And Danny Kim got in the way. Just as O'Carroll was looking to roll inside the area. Melbourne City corner. Rekia's take, fizzed in dangerously. Cleared only as far as McIntosh, who had a go. Aravanis there too. Bauer belted it away. Atherinos with two to contend with. And Ashcroft tried to steer it on for Latham. Polowski got up and he had to. Now McIntosh. Chesnick got him well. McIntosh just couldn't take it with him. Guy. That's a gorgeous little flick for Latham, who gave chase. Jamie Latham steered it low. Calms got it away. Dandenong City just driving forward with a bit more force at the start of the second half. Another Bauer long throw. Again wanted, guy flicked on by an arbor. It fell for Ashcroft. And now Webster! Super strike on the swivel! And Dandenong City have the lead. From the chaos, he emerged and was there to steer them towards a bit more shortness on the road. What a massive goal that could be for their season. They spent 45 penned in. And via a penalty box mix-up, Webster was there to make his mark. Chasing a first away win in 3 months. Chasing a first away point in 3 months. And Dandenong City have got themselves ahead. And it throws a spanner in the Melbourne City final chasing works. Well, they were looking for 5 in a row as well. This was not supposed to happen. Well, courtesy of Webster. And courtesy of a second ball scrap it has. And Calms is looking for immediate retort. Polyzoudis with a gorgeous take and a gorgeous run around clock. Roland Balla took over and Chesnick was there to clear. Pelowski, though, had a loose touch. And now Guy can go the other way. Aravanis. Latham gave chase. Pelowski, Aravanis, O'Carroll. Clipped on for Polyzoudis, who tried to steer it for Balla, and Chesnick got a boot in. It was nearly 1-1 with immediacy. Calms. Neuenhausen. Melbourne City have got to find something. They have got to go and find an answer. Without defeat in the league since the end of April. It's been some time. Dandenong City on course, though, to do just that. Scoreline the last time they lost in the league, Hume beat them 1-0. Well, here is Polyzoudis. Went to clip it in for Rek here in the channel and couldn't. Bowers turned to battle. Aravanis got up, taken down by McIntosh. And Pelowski was short, and now Bauer can go. 3 arriving for him, one of whom was at the Redos, Latham the other. And he clipped his effort just over. Nearly a quick 1-2 punch for Dandenong City to severely hammer any opportunity of Melbourne City getting back into this game. Brilliant bustle from Bauer. And Latham with pace, a little bit of loop. Had it looped more, Neuenhausen might have been in trouble. Balla, O'Carroll. Ashcroft came across. Pelowski on for O'Carroll. Ashcroft was hunting him. Calms cleared. Webster gave it back the other way. Guy went to take it down. Now McIntosh. And the guy slid in and fouled him. A little bit more urgency about Melbourne City now. As Calms again went to draw Latham. Aravanis, Boston. Went to thread it for Polizoudis. And Arbor was given a pullback. Guy. Chopped it off for Atherinos, who lost it. Aravanis. Lovely, lovely turn from Rekia, who then tried to take on one too many. Ashcroft, Bauer. He went to breeze his way beyond Polovsky. Ashcroft continued his run. Had O'Carroll in retreat. Ashcroft tried to dig a ball out and couldn't find anybody. Only found touch. Calms on for Polovsky. He just clipped it tidily on for O'Carroll, who's made it out for Balla. Roland Balla roaming, steered it dangerously across. Lino had to be sure as Cartwright was lurking and he conceded the corner. And Melbourne City want to make a change right on the hour. And that charging run will be Aaron Cartwright's last for the afternoon. He is to be replaced by Akeem Gerald. Second Melbourne City change since the break. Dandenong City lead on the hour. Melbourne City have a corner. Roland Balla's take. Swung towards Clark, who was able to claim comfortably. Clark taking almost all his time. Chesnick. Bauer. Plofsky got a foot in. Looking for Webster. Chesnick, lovely footwork from Valley Chesnick, who then lost out to Akeem Gerald, who did well in retreat. Polovsky. Ryan Calms. Polovsky, too long for McIntosh. Gerald went to turn. And Bauer went and won it. McIntosh thought they had it. Just that little bit of desperation starting to creep in. As Webster steadied it back for Clark. Rekia was unsure where to press. Calms nodded it on. McIntosh was tidy. Polizoudis looked for Balla. Nodded away by Lino. Latham. Atherinos. Ashcroft, who nearly slipped on the turn, stumbled and still speared it on for Bauer smashingly. Clipped in the channel for Guy, who had Calms come across. The last Bauer long throw bore fruit for Dandenong City. Will the same occur? He again looked for Guy. Nodded away by Polovsky. Bauer. And Akeem Gerald went up. The challenge in retreat from Danny Kim was a good one. Hakeem Gerald had his pocket picked by Latham. Steered it on for Bauer, who went with Witch in the near post, and Neuenhausen was down to make a tidy save and quickly flung it on for Boston. Polizudis went to spear it on for Hakeem Gerald. That's well taken by Chesnick. Set it back for Clark. He speared it straight into O'Carroll. Webster this time away with more force. There's Neuenhausen. Had Atherinos charging, steered it on for McIntosh. Pilowski. Aravanis. Boston. Set it back once more for Aravanis, who got it from O'Carroll. Carms and Pilowski just taking the sting out of the situation. Consent control is needed. Melbourne City just haven't been able to find a similar degree in the second half that they did the first. That's a searching ball for McIntosh. Will make it work. Chesnick in retreat, or is there to slow him up? Keep Gerald nowhere beyond Chesnick. Bauer got in between and won a free kick. And in fact, Will Bauer might be a little worse for wear. And just requires a bit of attention. Webster, Chesnick, Clark all stood around. Melbourne City just having a word. As Bauer gets back to his feet, Dandenong City temporarily will be with 10. Pilowski just receiving some instruction. Momentarily one down. As Clark speared it for Guy, who wrestled with Carms. Guy did wonderfully. Latham set it on one more for Atherinos, who had his effort blocked. Boston and Polizudis closed the door. And Polizudis steered it on for Balla, whose touch was picked off by Latham. Will Bauer reinstated. As Clark clipped it long. Bauer battling. Flicked it on over Carms. Aravanis the only one there to find it. McIntosh was given a clip by Atherinos on his way through. Boston. Now Balla, who's got a bit of room. For the first time this afternoon, really. Set back for McIntosh, who went to clip it in for O'Carroll, and Clark there to not only claim it, to take the sting out of it too. If they are to hold on, starts a very, very important month for Dandenong City. They return home against Heidelberg next up before making the trip out west to Caroline Springs George Cross. Avondale, Hume, South Melbourne, all to follow. A tricky, tricky patch. Face 4 teams well and truly in the hunt, and a George Cross side that aren't much further away from it. So here is Bauer. Stood up by Polowski, set back for Danny Kim, who's clipped for Guy Neuenhausen, uncertain, and poured it over for a corner. 2 more changes being prepped on the Melbourne City touchline. First of whom is Nikola Jurovic. The second of whom will be Luke Bechvanovsky. Recce's afternoon finished. Similar conclusion reached for Christian Polizoudis. Dandenong City corner, Atherinos whipped it to the near post and needed nodding away for another. Succession of Dandenong City set pieces. Atherinos take 2, this time with depth. Neuenhausen had to claim as Guy was lurking. And then tried to spear it on quickly for Akeem Gerald to chase. Lino in retreat. Gerald will keep it alive and drive away from 2, away from 3, away from 4. Twisting, turning. Set back for McIntosh. Oh, Carroll couldn't spin. It nearly broke the weight of Bechvanovsky to have a go. And it needed clearing from Danny Kim in retreat. Lovely ball from Pilowski to find him. Webster, only one, waited to pick it off. His clearance took a flick, Combs cut it out. McIntosh lost out though, and now Bauer can motor. 2 are up with him in retreat, and sliding in is Polowski. The play continued. Guy on for Latham. Atherinos was forced to be held up. Well, marshalled by Jurovic in the end, and now Boston. Ashcroft.
Dom, behind you, Dom! Behind
Kept
you!
it alive. And ran out of room. Throw in taken with haste. Atherinos only blazed it into the palms of Neuenhausen. Almost an opportunity for Dandenong City to go and double their lead. Just a little bit cleaner, and they might have had that second that they so desired. It's tidy from Aravanis to find McIntosh. Boston. Balla has Lino to go at. It is Roland Barra trying to twist and turn his way for an effort. Set it back for McIntosh. Akeem Gerald. Not beyond Bauer. Who gave Guy one to chase. It was far too long for him. It reached the palms of Neuenhausen, who was quickly out to go and claim it. And fling it on for Jurovic. Aravanis. Calms. Oh, Carroll set it back for Pilowski, who searched it tidily for Bechvanovsky. Good challenge from Danny Kim. Webster. Sander Guy. Kim. Latham. Oh, it's a beauty of a ball, and Bauer is giving chase. Calms, however, will be there to win the race. Pilowski. Webster one in first. Chesnick. Set back for Inaba. Ashcroft. Chesnick. Latham kept it alive just. Webster, too much on it for Bauer. Neuenhausen will gather it. Dandenong City prepping a change or two of their own. As Boston drove forward, Lino on for Guy, who had stayed on side. Webster, Bauer. His return was read by Boston. Now Akim Gerald. He went to clip it further beyond Chesnick, though wasn't, and Dandenong City can make those changes now. 2 to be made. But they'll have to wait a bit longer for Matthew Jofku and Malik Abusba. A little bit more time taken. As Roland Balla. Stead to the back stick, Chesney uncertain. Akim Gerald was lurking, Chesnick more certain on that occasion. And then went to clear his lines. Comes up to nod it. McIntosh. Comes. Just over a quarter of an hour to save themselves, Melbourne City. Akim Gerald. Comes once more. Atherinos went to press. Chesnick slid and wasn't able to connect or cut it out. Then battled with Gerald. O'Carroll steadied on for McIntosh's ball and Lino nodded away. O'Carroll on the follow-in. Webster got a boot in. Danny Kim tried to hack it clear. Balla rekindled. Jurovic. Ravanis moved it on for Calms. Stayed down the line for Gerald. Pilofsky. Calms. Away from Bauer, on for McIntosh. Who went with Loeffler O'Carroll, his clip on. Couldn't find its way to Bechvanovsky. Chesnick holding. Set back for Webster. And now, those changes can be made, and 2 of them will come. Harry Ashcroft and Sander Guy, the 2 to make way. And a 3rd change in all that as well. As Danny Kim has his afternoon end. Abusba, Lambaderidis and Jofku. The trio of changes who have a quarter of an hour to see out. Dandenong City getting closer. As every minute ticks by, Balla flicked it on. Bechvanovsky unable to get there. Boston. And now some room for Roland Balla. Lino and Atherinos went to shut the door. Jurovic. Balla. Aravanis. Ryan Calms. Akim Gerald. Tried to work his way forward. Set it back for McIntosh. Jurovic. Aravanis. Calms. Dandenong City holding firm. Melbourne City unable to break through. McIntosh. Bauer came across well. They've just lacked the bites of recent weeks. I'll be hoping that in the time that remains they can find it if they are to go and grab something from this game.
You should both too deep, Malik!
It's the last home game for a while
Got nothing up there!
for Melbourne City. Trio of away days in the league. Oakley, St Albans, Altona all to go. Tricky test for this side before the next home game is Heidelberg. And then a trip out west to Caroline Springs for them. Given away to Latham, who went to steer it forward. Atherinos had made a tidy run. Went for Abuzba instead. Found its way to Gerald. That's a lovely turn of pace and a lovely pair of heels to get beyond Lambadaridis too. Now McIntosh steered it in the channel for Bechvanovsky. The flag was up on the far side as Bala was making his move.
Maddie! Just sit! The transition!
As they're chasing, the margins become finer.
Who's sitting, man? Where's Maddie G? Billy, where's he going? No, he's not. Where's he got that?
Dandenong City, 10 plus stoppage time away from a first bit of away day delight since February, and Latham flicked it on for Atherinos and the flag was up for offside with immediacy. Neuenhausen's in a hurry. Boston. Jurovic. Lino in retreats, and Lino had a stumble. Bala bundled in. Jofkut there to wear it. Dandenong City want a free kick they won't get. Here is Boston. Jurovic. Bala, him and Lino entangled, and it'll trickle out for a goal kick.
This has been the same time for the last 80 minutes. We can't call it now.
Okay, Clark wanted Bauer. Calm's got up. Fell for Jurovic. He steered it for Bechvanovsky. Inaba got up. Lino couldn't keep it alive. And this is where Dandenong City are looking to grind out a real smash and grab 3 points. Roland Bala was offside.
Better line. Just to make sure we're ready.
Be just the fourth clean sheet of the season if they were to see it out. First since April.
Come on.
And Pierce Clark is taking far too long for the officials' liking. Finds himself in the book and then speared his ball out of play. Another Melbourne City change, ready and waiting. Daniel Martina getting ready. And it looks like Roland Bala's afternoon is going to be the one that comes to a close. Final few minutes of attrition. Gaku Inaba hooked it away. Calm's caught up. Well, Carroll went to help it on its way, and the ricochet fell to Bechvanovsky, who couldn't steer it out. For Akeem Gerald, that's clipped wonderfully, however, by Chesnick, and an opportunity for City on the break. Abuzba charging, Calm's in retreat, a little ricochet. Atherinos was lurking, shouts for handball waved away. Jurovic cleared, Lino got up, battled over Bala, fell for O'Carroll. Akeem Gerald, Chesnick picked his pocket, not once but twice. And then clipped it on for Bauer, and the flag has stayed down. Bauer beyond McIntosh. Set for Latham. Still wanting to work a yard is Latham. Some way, somehow, they can't get a shot in. Crashed away by Jurovic. Lambadaridis in retreat. Bundled into Roland Balla. They will have a free kick, and that will be his final action of the day. Balla makes way for Martina. And City's top scorer this season in the Senol National Premier League Victoria men's. Double delight for him last time. He has found no such success today. First introduction for Martina. Tried to steer it down the line for a Carroll. Lambadaridis back for Clark. He clipped for a boost, but to get up. Pelovsky in a hurry. Calms on for Aravanis. Dandenong City getting another substitution ready. Georgakopoulos down on the touchline, awaiting his introduction as Jurovic. Calms. Bechvanovsky unable to steer it further forward. Thumped away in kind by Jovku. And they will make that change, and it will be Atharinos who makes way. So both double scorers last week are the two who make way today. As it was for Roland Balla, it is for Tim Atharinos. No double delight, though he's done his bit. Down the line for Gerald, nodded away by Lino, now Webster. Able to be steered further forward. Dandenong City getting closer and closer. Nodded away by Georgakopoulos. Helped on by McIntosh with height. Martina's touch invited Chesnick. McIntosh on the slide. Now Lambadaridis will fall fortuitously, momentarily for Abuzba. He's able to find Georgakopoulos. Hakeem Gerald with an opportunity. Away from two, and then collided with his own. Calms came through. Chesnick in the chaos had it fall his way, and spin it on for Jovku, who has got one up with him. Jovku in behind. Neuenhausen dived on it, and somehow he couldn't get a shot away. Went to clip to the back post for Abuzba on the late run. Chesnick unrelenting. Abuzba, Latham with Loft, flag up for offside. That was a golden look for Dandenong City to seal it. Jovku did the hard work. Had Georgakopoulos with him. And just at the crucial moment, had too heavy a touch to get round Aravanis. The door is still open, and Martina wants to get on the march. Chesnick. Lambadaridis. Happy to hug the touchline. Aravanis.
Come on, lads, keep going, keep going.
On for Jurovic. Hakeem Gerald. Aravanis calms, pressed by Latham, who he evaded. Threaded on for Martina, who got away from Chesnick. Carroll. Bechvinovsky. Martina clipped it. Inaba had to get up. Jurovic on the volley on the following. Lampadaridis nodded it. Latham helped it on its way. Bauer was wrestled by a few and won a free kick. The other 3 o'clock kickoff at the moment. Avondale doing their parts. 3 points all but secured at home to Bentley Greens, who will be having a keen eye, knowing the gap to the bottom 3 is about to be closed right up. Busbo with a stumble. As we tick in to the final minute of the 90. Time running out for Melbourne City to keep this unbeaten run going. 4 straight wins, and they look as though they are about to falter. Webster tried to draw it. Pelofsky did well. Chesnick got up. McIntosh looked for a way forward. Busby was then again to press. Jurovic. Calms. Moved on to Boston, whose touch was a little loose. Invited Lampadaridis. Latham steered it round the corner and gave Bauer one to chase. Aravanis. We are now ticking our way over and into 4 minutes of stoppage time. Gerald charging at Lino. Clark there to claim. Thumped on by Clark. Nodded away by Calms. Good read from Chesnick, who steered it for Latham, who couldn't help it on its way to Bauer. Calms cut it out. Set it on for Jurovic. Inaba did enough. Jofku helped it on. Georgakopoulos on for him. And Dandenong City can sense an opportunity to go and wrap it up. Bauer with a little loose touch. McIntosh got a boot in. Georgakopoulos on the drive. And Neuenhausen had quite an easy claim in the end. Martina. Steered down the line for Bechvinovsky. Webster got up. And to good effect, Pelofsky looked to go down the line, and Pelofsky is down. Pelofsky makes way. In fact, no, he doesn't. And for a moment, they might have been momentarily down to 10. Calms. Went to spear it for Boston. Nodded away by Chesnick. Busbach didn't connect at all. And it opened the door for Carroll to find Hakeem Gerald, who is launching at Lino. Set back for Jurovic. Clip to the back post for Martina. Webster got a boot in. Just in the nick of time. And hammered it to safety. McIntosh. Pelofsky. Chesnick. Happy to clip it away. Neuenhausen, time ticking away. Is there one late look? Busba got the flick into touch. McIntosh, Martina. Latham across in vain. McIntosh charging and steered it only out for a goal kick. That might do it.
Hurry up, hurry up, hurry. You don't want to get rid of Come in. Come on.
They very, very well might be there.
Keep working, Jamie, keep working.
3 month drought. Barron, since they beat those who bested them in the Ultimate Showcase of last season. City are close. And Abuzba wants to round it in style, but Neuenhausen still has a pulse. Melbourne City still have a pulse. Lino caught up. Bauer went to make life difficult. Jackson Lino will get it anywhere. Georgakopoulos got away from McIntosh, set it back for Lambadaridis. 4 minutes are expired. It's down to however long the referee pleases, which is not very long at all. 3 months of turmoil and turbulence on the road reach their conclusion. Momentous it could be for Dandenong City. My word, how they needed that. 3 unbeaten, just making their move at the right time. Jack Webster not too long into the second half, the one to win it for them. A performance of grit, of determination, and one that for the time being takes them out of the dreaded drop zone and on to brighter pastures for Melbourne City. An opportunity at 5 in a row, an opportunity to make their march further through the top 6 pack. Is one where they are ground to a halt by Hajduk. Full time at Casey Fields. Melbourne City 0, Dandenong City 1.